laundry detergent. It's not sexy, but it's very necessary. I've got a couple here that we're going to test out and see which works best on performance fabrics. Let's get to it. But before we get started, let me tell you that SweatX Sport and Win detergent did send me these products to review and test. I told them exactly what I was going to be doing, testing the products to see what works best for performance running apparel. And they were willing to send the products. There was another company that I spoke with, had a meeting with, went really well, but then they backed out at the end. I think they were honestly a little scared their product wouldn't beat competition and didn't want to put it up to that. So anyway, kudos to these companies, Win and SweatX Sport, for sending these. Thank you so much. But first, I think we need to talk about why we need sport detergents versus traditional laundry detergent. So traditional laundry detergent was not formulated for athletic apparel, performance fabrics, polyesters, very tight-knit fabrics. They were traditionally made for cotton fabrics, which have a not as tight of a weave of the fabrics, which allows the detergent to get in there, clean things, really easy. Tighter knit fabrics like this shirt I'm wearing here and other running apparel, socks, shorts, vests, all that stuff has a much tighter weave of the fabric. It's very, very close. The holes are very small. Doesn't allow that traditional detergent to penetrate, get out those embedded sweat stains, odors, and funk. And that's what led to the creation of sport detergents. And now we're going to find out if these actually work and do a better job versus standard detergent. So from SweatX Sport, we have the standard detergent here. This is their normal activewear laundry detergent, which is good for most loads. Then we have the Max Odor Defense, which is for those really nasty odors, just really stink. You know what I'm talking about. So that's what this is developed for. And then we have the Free and Clear, which is certified hypoallergenic. This is actually the first detergent certified asthma and allergy friendly by the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America. So that's pretty darn cool. If you are irritated by traditional laundry detergents, then this may be the one you want to pick up. And then from Win detergent, we have the Sport detergent. This is basically their standard, kind of similar to what I would say the activewear from SweatX Sport. And this is just, for normal loads. And then we have the Free and Clear sports detergent from Win detergent as well. Pretty similar, I believe, to this one from SweatX Pro. Obviously some proprietary blends, things like that, but the general gist is the same. So these are the detergents we're going to be testing. I've got 2 tests I'm going to be doing. The first one is going to be a soaking test. I've got plenty of pairs of the XOSKIN Exo-Toe socks that I wear trail running. My wife has some, we'll use some of hers as well. Those things get really nasty. So what we're going to do is take clean socks, meaning I have washed them in standard laundry detergent. We're going to soak them in a bowl with a little bit of detergent and a specific amount of water. We'll be very specific as we can, trying to keep it as scientifically based as we can. And we're going to soak them for 1 hour and see how dirty that water gets from soaking a clean sock. It will just be kind of interesting to see what that looks like, because I know you've probably seen some videos out there where people throw clothes in the bathtub, throw some detergent, soak it, and it just looks really nasty. So we're going to see how it works on performance fabric socks. For test number 2, we're going to use the standard laundry machine. We're going to wash the clothes. We will use all of these detergents here. And we will look for things like smell, because obviously it's got to smell clean, smell good. We will look to see if the sweat stains on fabrics get out, because I am a very heavy sweater. Generally, after I go for a long run, my clothes have sweat stains on the shoulders, the back, all over the place. I run trail and ultras. I run for a long time, which means, I have to lubricate certain areas. So with that said, sometimes those lubrication sticks like Body Glide, Gold Bond Friction Defense can leave a white residue on the fabrics. So we will see if those residues get out of the clothing. And then I will also go for a run in the clothing, run for about 10 minutes to see, once that fabric gets activated by sweat, if it starts to smell again and smell bad. Because we've all had that happen where you've been out running in clean clothing and it just starts smelling really bad, even worse than your normal body odor. So anyway, that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to see how those fabrics feel, what they look like, smell like, and throughout the whole process, I will try my best to keep it a controlled experiment. And yeah, so let's get to the testing. Interesting to note that right off the bat, this fabric is much thicker than these. These were very thin, and this actually left like a coating on the inside of my tablespoon. All right, we're gonna test for 30 minutes and then we'll come back, take a little look at them, go for another 30 minutes for a full hour and just see how they look. Well, testing is well underway. I wanted to explain my process here. So I've got exactly 2.5 cups of water in each bowl, and I used a tablespoon of detergent in each one of the bowls as well. Used the whisk to kind of stir it up, make sure it was all mixed in there really well. Put the socks in, also used a whisk to kind of push them down in there, stir them around, kind of agitate it a little bit. And then now they've just been soaking for almost 30 minutes. I also wanted to say I am not doing this with the SweatX Pro Max Odor because I wanted to compare basically these against, oh, there we go, 30 minutes. So I wanted to compare these against basically their counterpart. So we have the 2 free and clears and the 2 standard detergents. So that's what we're comparing right now. So 30 minutes has now passed and there is a little discoloration of the water. It's starting to change a little bit from the dirt in the socks. Interestingly though, I don't know if you can see it right now, but this here, the Win sports detergent, is very foamy or bubbly, this one here. And it's almost like the socks are floating on top instead of sinking in, where all of these are sinking in the water. So it's very interesting to know. I don't know if it's because of the, it's got to be something to do with the makeup of the detergent, but just interesting. So 1 full hour has now elapsed. We're going to take a look at the water, the bowls closely, and just see which one we think might look a little dirtier for the water, that is. Making a little mess here, but that's all good in the name of science. Oh yeah, that one's definitely, definitely looking dirty there. SweatX Active Wear water now, as you can see, is, you know, a little discolored, not too bad. Now the free and clear SweatX Sport. This water is definitely darker, definitely has a little bit of a dirt hue to it. And the Win Free and Clear also has a darker dirt look to it, just a little bit. Very similar to the SweatX Sport. And the Win Sports Detergent. We have, can't really see a lot because there's a lot of foam and bubbles on this one still, but it does also look pretty clear. Not too much dirt in that one. I'd say this one is probably the cleanest looking out of all of them so far. So based off of this soak test, the results, as I would guess by looking at the colors of the water, which one looks the most dirty to the most clean, I would say the most dirty looking water is from the SweatX Sport Free and Clear. This one is definitely darker. Next up would be the Win Detergent Free and Clear, is pretty dark water as well. And then over here to the SweatX Sport Active Wear, the standard detergent. That one is also a little bit darker than, say, this one. This one looks like the least dark water. It looks, you know, a little blue because the detergent actually did have some coloring in it. But yeah, so I would kind of say, based off of this result, these two fared fairly similar. With this one maybe taking the Win just a little bit higher than this one. Okay, so now time for test number 2. So for the next test, we're going to actually do some laundry, and for this one, I'm going to use the SweatX Sport Max Odor Defense for this first test because the clothing I'm going to wash right now is nasty. It's the running gear that I wore at the Golden Gate Trail Classic race, which was now over a week ago. Please don't think I'm disgusting. It's just the clothes have literally been in this bag, a wet bag, the entire time. And they were wet when I put them in there. So this will be a perfect test of the Max Odor Defense detergent because they're gonna stink bad. So let's go ahead and do some laundry. All the socks from the test, we're gonna go ahead and throw those in too. Get them a final washing. Oh, I don't even want to open this, it's gonna smell so bad. Luckily there's no mold growth, but ugh. It smells so bad. Need to wash that bag too, holy cow. I'm also gonna wash my Ultimate Direction Mountain Vest 5.0 pack. I'm gonna throw that in this laundry bag because you don't wanna get the strings and stuff attached to something and rip the fabrics. All right, throw that in. Now the detergent says to do 1 capful for a standard size load or 2 capfuls, which is basically 2 ounces for large or heavily soiled loads. So it's a very small load, but I'm probably gonna do 2, honestly, because it stinks and I wanna make sure it gets clean. All right, so here we go. This is a thin detergent. Let's pour it over here. Hard not to make a mess. All right, I always wash mine on casual cycle, which I use tap cold water. I'm gonna put that soil level on extra heavy because it stinks. And we'll go ahead and start her up. That smells good. So this shirt here was actually washed in the Sweat X Sport, the Free and Clear. And I am now almost 30 minutes into this run. And it still smells pretty darn good. Even with sweat and like snot on it. Yeah, it smells pretty good. So yeah, I'm impressed. And the results are in of the rigorous testing of the laundry detergents. But seriously, the testing is now finished. The results of the soak test, we already saw that. You know, the two Free and Clear ones did pretty much the best on that, just looking at the amount of dirt in the bowl, the color of the water, which was kind of surprising to see the Free and Clears winning. At least to me, it was a little surprising. But now the results of the laundry test are done. I've done many loads of laundry over the last couple of weeks, at least 2 loads with each one. I've gone on runs with the clothing afterwards, smelled it. My wife has smelled the clothes. I've looked at the clothes and see if they've gotten all the sweat stains out, the gunk in the areas from lubricants that might get left behind on clothing. So I have a couple of samples of clothing that's been washed by each of these. First we have the Win sports detergent right here, and this here is a smart wool shirt, so that type of fabric. It smells nice. It smells good. Now we have the Win Free and Clear. Again, some kind of compression polyester spandex type shorts. And again, smells good. Over here we have the Sweat X Sport Free and Clear. Got some XOSKIN XO underwear. Smelling my underwear. But they smell really good. And what I noticed with these is I don't want to get, too gross for y'all, but yeah, the insides where, you lubricate things, it's clean. It's all gone. It's very clean. So good job. Next we have the Sweat X Sport Activewear, the standard detergent, and this is a pair of Path Projects Wildcat AT shorts. These are their thinnest, super lightweight racing shorts basically. And so there's different kinds of fabric to test here. And again, it all smells good. And finally we have the Sweat X Sport Max Odor Defense. This is the XOSKIN 3/4 sleeve shirt. This is the one that sat in my bag for over a week. After running a race. It was soaked, it was gross. Honestly, I was surprised there wasn't any mold on it. And I washed it with this one here, and it smells quite nice, not gonna lie. It smells clean. So, as you can see, they all smell really good. And bottom line is, they all work. I know you wanted like a clear winner, which one should I buy? Any of them are gonna do the trick, honestly. They did really good job. Just going off of the soak test with the socks, I think the Free and Clear ones, did a little bit better. They got more dirt out of the socks. That was clear. We saw that. And then when I was dumping the water out of the bowl, you could even see more residue left behind. So those two did really good job, which is kind of surprising, but did really well. Bottom line, they all work pretty well. These two both were thicker, more like standard detergents, where all of these are very thin. All of these Sweat X Sport products say to use 1 ounce, which is basically 1 capful for normal loads. If it's a really stinky load or it's a very large load, you can use 2 ounces, so 2 capfuls of those. The Win detergent, this is one downfall to the Win detergent. It doesn't have a cap that you can really fill. It's just a very, very small cap, and it says the same thing. It says 1 ounce for stinky loads, 2 ounces for very stinky, and 3 ounces for super stinky. So you can use more detergent over here, and you don't have a vessel to measure it in, so you need to have something to do that with. Now talking about pricing, the Sweat X Sport products here at the Activewear, the standard, this is $19.99, and this will do 45 loads. All 3 of these say they will do 45 loads. This one is $19.99. These two are both $22.99, so just a little more expensive. And now the Win detergents, both of these say it'll do 32 loads, so again, just a few less loads than these. But this is also $12.95. So both of these bottles are $12.95, whereas these are $19.99 and $22.99. So you get more loads out of these, less loads, less money. I do really like the way this one, this Free and Clear, the SweatX Sport, seemed to just get the dirt out of the socks when I soaked them. Washing it, it does a really, I mean, these smell really good. These are underwear, XOSKIN underwear from Ultras that I run, and they smell good and they look good. They don't look, you know, sweaty or any of that. So that kind of sold me, because this gets pretty gunky. Now, if you want to really break down the price, if you look at the Free and Clear and the Max Odor Defense versus both of these over here, this is going to run you a little over 51 cents per load. This one is right at 40 cents per load, so it's going to be a little bit less expensive over here. And like I said at the start, these all work pretty darn well. So I think whichever one you purchase, you can't go wrong. They all work better than standard laundry detergent, so know that no matter which one you choose, it's gonna work really well. Well, I am sorry that I do not have a clear winner, but I guess that's good for the products because they both did pretty darn well and they work. So, you know, big shout out again to SweatX Sport for sending me all these products, to Win Detergent for sending me these as well. Thank you so much for you know, allowing your products to go head to head in battle. That's awesome. You guys stand behind your products, and I can see why, because they all work. So thank you for the good products. If you want to purchase these products, I will have some links down below in the description down there. Check it out. They may be affiliate links. What those do is basically they help support the channel, but they don't cost you anything. So anyway, if you like the video, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. That really does help out like tremendously. Share this with other runners that might need to know what kind of detergents to get for their stinky clothing. And if you want to take a look at the Golden Gate Trail Classic video I did, where I ran a 50K, where I wore this clothing here and then put it in a bag and let it sit for a week, that's going to be right over here. You can check that out. And then over here, we'll put up a playlist of some other gear reviews to check out too. So thank you for watching. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you on the next one.